Rhyme Knight's one of the greatest vocalists of all time.
That's a bold statement.
He's one of the greatest vocalists of all time.
Wow.
Of all time?
Well, you know, when I say all time, I'm not talking about since the 1800s. I'm saying since the music that we know in modern history.
all time is kind of all time.
Well, yeah, okay. You know what? Peter, you know, the disciple. Vocals crazy.
Vocal Bible.
Vocals crazy.
The literal vocal New Testament.
Crazy. Hey, and you should have heard Judas. I'm gonna tell you.
We sound crazy.
What's going on? Welcome to a very special edition of We Sound Crazy and Can We Talk R&B special mashup. Billionaires in the building.
What's up, y'all? Claude Kelly's in the building.
What's up? Chuck Harmony is in the building.
What's good? Bacon from Macon is in the building.
I mean, you need no introduction.
Not
You
at
know
all.
what I'm saying?
But Can
Man,
We Talk is in the building.
Ian Vaughn is in the building. Can We Talk R&B collab with We Sound Crazy. This is like this. They're going to be a new thing because
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to
This
get
is
enough
This is
of
the
this.
first.
Let's make
Yes.
it.
They're not going to be able to get enough of this.
No,
this is the first.
This is gonna be
Yes.
great. We're gonna get in some trouble, I'm sure.
Come on, come on.
Looking forward to it.
Come on.
But 2024 was an incredible year
It was.
for R&B music and music in general, I would
was.
say.
It was.
And as you can see, we've brought together Can We Talk R&B
Yeah.
and We Sound Crazy to reflect on some of the biggest moments in 2024 in R&B music. We've decided to collaborate because we share a common goal to grow and elevate the R&B platform. We are here in Nashville, Tennessee at the National Museum of African American Music. Look around, all this beautiful space. We're in the Roux Theater, to be more specific.
Theater.
Theater.
Yes.
In this episode, we'll be diving into all the standout R&B moments of 2024, sharing our insights, reactions, and predictions of where the genre is headed. So without further ado,
Let's do
Hop
it.
in.
Let's do this.
Can we talk crazy?
can we talk
Can we
crazy?
talk
Can
crazy?
we talk crazy is the question.
Can we talk crazy? I
Yes,
love
we
that.
can.
I love it. Yeah, yeah.
First of all, I'm just want to say congratulations. I'm a big fan of Can We Talk.
Man, thank you so much. I'm a
Yeah.
big fan of the We Sound Crazy show as well. I mean, like, when I first started this show, I wasn't aware of really any other show that was
Yeah.
doing this. And then when I think I dropped a couple of episodes and someone said, yo, you need to go check out We Sound Crazy. And I've been, so since the very beginning of my show, I've been tapped in with you guys every week or, you know, from all that time. So definitely inspired by what you guys are doing. And I'm glad to be a part of the conversation moving forward.
I mean, listen, there's so much of black music that needs to be discussed
Yes.
in general that the more the merrier, because in my personal opinion, I feel like hip hop gets, and we talk about hip hop, we talk about everything, but hip hop gets so much
Yes.
love and attention. There's documentaries and TV shows and scripted shows and
That's right.
reality shows and everything. So getting these stories out and coming together like this, I think is important.
No question. R&B is the bedrock of all of it, you know. So I think it's very important, and specifically having a platform like this to where we can debate, we can have the conversation, because we all have these conversations.
Oh, yeah.
We all have this in the barbershops, whatever. Who's the best singer? What's your favorite song? All that. So
Yeah.
He said bedrock, and I was like, oh,
Best singer
I
we-
can make you a bedrock girl. The first thing that came to mind. Shout out Lloyd. You know what I'm
Shout out to
saying?
Lloyd.
We kicking it off with Lloyd?
Lloyd.
Shout out to Lloyd.
Shout out Lloyd.
So I would say 2024 was a great year, but it was also the women ran 2024.
They did.
When I think of
Yeah.
Money Long,
Yeah.
when I think of Coco Jones,
Yeah.
Kaylani,
Yeah.
Summer Walker,
Yeah.
Yeah.
they dominated the charts, but it was a lot of great music that came out.
No question.
Yeah.
A lot of great music.
I agree.
They've been
Yeah.
dominating for the last few years, though.
Hip hop and
Honestly.
R&B.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
What do you all think it is about? I mean, what do you all think it is about the women they're kind of taking slightly an edge over the guys? Like,
Authenticity, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The women are being honest. They're being transparent.
Yeah.
To me, it's the presentation. I feel like there's great storytelling happening. Like, but even when I see the live presentation, like it feels more intentional
yeah.
to me. So I feel like the ladies they deserve all the flowers they're getting. Victoria Monet, I can't
Yeah,
forget about
Victoria Monet, for
Victoria.
sure.
Like it's so many that are just. When I saw Victoria this year at the BET Awards, her performance, and I'm like,
Amazing.
the level of dedication and rehearsal hours. It was like
Yeah.
yeah, you deserve this.
Yeah.
You deserve this platform. Like a lot of the guys I feel like they phoned it in with a few exceptions.
Yeah.
Like I love what Lucky Day is doing, and shout out to Bobby Valentino, Timon's favorite artist.
Wait,
Not so much.
wait a minute.
Not so much.
How did Bobby catch a stray?
I mean, that was like a
No
45
diss to
caliber.
Bobby. He's got some jams, but not on my favorite.
So no RSVP.
No, he got
on
bops.
your-
He got bops.
But Bobby's an RSVP now, so I just want to.
Is
Oh, yeah.
RSVP
Is that
still a
still
thing?
happening?
There's still a thing.
Yeah.
There's still a thing. I talked with Sammy earlier this year, and it's definitely still a
Still a
thing.
thing.
Oh, okay.
It's
I
Ray-
didn't know
it's-
anyone RSVP'd.
It's Ray J, Sammy, and
Pleasure P.
And Bobby V.
And Bobby V.
Do we want that?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I kind of want to see all those guys actually have talent.
Yeah.
They just play too much. Sammy's the most serious one,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but I think they play too much. If they just show us what they really can do, I think they'll surprise us.
Okay.
But are we gonna get that? That's the question.
I don't want it. I do not want it. I'm just
So-
being honest. I don't want
So
it.
let me ask each of you this: your favorite female R&B album and favorite male R&B album
Of the year?
of this year.
Of this year.
God.
Wow.
Wow.
That's pretty easy for me.
Come to me
Same.
last.
You go first.
All right. Well, my favorite male album of the year is Algorithm from Lucky Day.
Okay.
Female is gonna be Money Long Revenge.
It's same.
I second that.
Same.
Yeah.
You second that
I
entire
second that.
thing?
I think they were both great bodies of work. I can from start to finish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they were great.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, just the song Money's just had a great few years, Money
Yeah.
Long.
She's amazing.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Mhm.
I'm just salute to everybody involved, JD and B Cox and
Mhm.
Tricky Stewart.
Yeah.
and,
Absolutely.
just I'm loving what Money Long, but yeah, to me it would be Money and
Yeah.
Lucky.
Now I think Lucky's album is we'll get into that, but I think he has the best album of the decade so far.
Wow.
The decade.
Wow.
Since 2020 to
And
now, he has the best album of the decade.
the
so far.
decade,
Yeah, to me.
all 10 years.
No,
Well,
since 2020.
God, it's only 4.
So
Of this
far.
decade.
But I'm saying the decade. I'm like,
No, of the decade so
yet.
far. I said so far. The key
You like the
word,
whole 10 years?
so far.
Okay, because I was like,
So
What
far.
makes you think that?
right.
Like I'm curious to know about.
So I rank. I have Jasmine Sullivan's Hotels in there.
My vocal
I
Bible.
have a Lucky Day Candy Drip in there.
Hmm.
It's a number of other albums I have that I've really, really enjoyed over the last 4 years. But this album is the most innovative. I think vocally he's killing. Production is crazy. The songwriting is they're just coming from different perspectives. It's a breath of fresh air. It's retro, but it's brand new. It's all the things that I'm looking for in new music.
Yeah. Algorithm was probably for me the most cohesive album. Like when you hit play, you can literally let it ride, and
Yes.
it's gonna take you so many different directions, but it makes sense song for song.
Yeah.
I do think there are some albums that did not give me that this year, and I feel like for Lucky Day and D Mile and just everybody that was a part
Yeah,
of that
shout out to
project.
D-Mile.
Which ones?
Speaking
Which
of
ones
D-Mile,
didn't give you that, Timon?
Ooh.
Which ones
We going there-
underwhelmed
we
you?
going there already?
I mean, I would like.
Can
to
we
know.
talk crazy?
Right?
Can
Can
we
we talk
talk
crazy?
crazy?
I wished I would have gotten, while there are some good songs on Usher's Coming Home album, I wished we would have gotten a more cohesive album. I mean, I don't think I needed 21 songs.
Too many?
I was able to take 13 songs, and I'm like, this should have been the album right here. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I didn't need that much music, especially with, I don't think we have that kind of time in this day and time to be listening to a 20-song album, especially if it's not going to be smash for smash.
Yeah,
Give
if
me-
it's strong,
give-
I got the time.
Yeah, give me
If it's
12
strong,
songs,
but I
12
feel
strong
you.
songs.
Yeah.
I feel like Mary is another disappointment for me, the Gratitude album.
So the
I lo-
OGs let you down.
Dang.
and I love Mary. Good Morning Gorgeous. I played that till the wheels fell off. But Gratitude, it's something missing for me on that project. And it's no diss to Mary at all. But yeah, that project just didn't do it for me, unfortunately. So
Usher's album to me was actually, I wasn't mad at the album. And I heard some of the stuff that didn't make the cut.
Mhm.
L.A. Reid played me like probably about 5 songs. And I was like, man, I wish this was on the album as well. But I enjoyed the record. And to me, kicking off the year, Super Bowl
yeah,
was iconic.
absolutely.
definitely.
You know what I mean? Like, yo to the bros, represented Usher.
Hey.
You know what I mean? We don't need you trying to shimmy though. You know what I mean? We love you, Usher. You know what I'm saying? We gotta
Usher can't get
we gotta
a-
talk. We gotta, you know what I mean?
He
We
can't get an
gotta-
honorary.
No, we don't do
Ain't no
honorary.
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 Okay.
No.
We don't do honorary. No.
You
So
gotta
we-
take
just
that
the other
too.
ones do that.
Yeah, just the other ones.
Oh, okay.
The other 8. They,
Gotcha.
you know, they the divine.
You got to know
9.
your information.
Yes, but Usher to me that was a great way to kick it off, and obviously his tour's doing incredible. But
Yeah.
that Super Bowl performance to me was great.
Yeah.
Highlight of the year for sure. Usher, I don't believe he had done the Super Bowl before, not as a feature. So
No.
I think he had popped in once before, but incredible performance, and he showed us why he's crowned the king of R&B.
Is he the king?
I said he showed us why he's been crowned the king of R&B.
You don't think he's the king, Phil?
I'm just asking. I mean,
I think
is this king?
I think he is.
What child is this?
I think he's like the reigning king. Now,
Yeah.
I think there are, I'll give a big shout out to Chris Brown. 1111 album was crazy. His tour is crazy as well. I think he's kind of the current, like the new king, the new crown king, but Usher is like the reigning king.
Yeah, I was gonna say lately there's more Chris Brown songs I like than Usher songs. In general.
I'm not mad at that.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at that.
for sure.
Yeah, I think that would be a battle. I mean, we've been talking about this for years. Chris Brown and Usher in a versus battle. Pick their best 20 songs, and I think Usher wins that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
I agree with you. But lately,
Yeah.
I think Chris Brown has been on a run.
He's been on a crazy run.
Did Sensational come out this year?
Yes. I
I
think
love
so.
that record.
Well,
Yeah.
it was definitely on 11.
That's,
Yeah,
that's,
I love that
I love that
that's-
record.
Visuals
I was gonna say
and all-
that's one of my favorite R&B songs of the year.
That whole album was crazy. I went to that tour in Austin, Texas. Man, when I tell you there were girls in there or people in there rather, from 8 years old to 70 years old.
Yeah.
And he rocked for 2.5, 3 hours, nonstop. It was a crazy, crazy show. Like, killed it.
Chris Brown is a peculiar case because at this point he's so veteran and
Yeah.
so successful and still continues to suffer because of public perception, right?
Absolutely.
What's the rules with him? Because he's so consistent at this point that it's like, when are we gonna
That's a tough thing because it's like,
cut him some slack?
I do agree fully. I mean, I'm one that tries my best to separate the personal life. I try this personal life from the art, and being that the art it's our gift. So our gift is for the people.
Yeah.
Now, what you do personally, it's a thin line. You can't go on a
Right.
mass killing spree or nothing like that.
No,
But you know what I mean?
you can't, yeah.
But it's a thin line. So I don't know. I do think he was 18, 19 years old when that happened.
Yeah.
He's I don't know how old he's 36, 37
Yeah,
years
he's
old.
mid-30s now. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's been out of trouble. We need to give him his flowers.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
Shout
the-
out to Chris, VA zone. I just got it. That's where he's from.
Yeah, he's from VA. Yeah,
he's
that's
from
right.
VA. 2 up,
That's
2
right.
down. Tappahannock. Just saying. Just want to make sure everybody knows the home.
This is why you should be heading up the
the VA.
VA
Cap-
love for,
R&B.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Virginia Coalition.
yeah,
the
VA
Virginia Coalition,
Yeah. No, we
the
definitely-
VAC.
Another artist that to me had an amazing breakout year when I think about even full body where I really enjoy her, Tyler.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I
A young
really,
Tyler.
is
He is a
Dang.
superstar.
Yeah.
In her
a
prime.
star. She
I-
is.
that was the one that I was gonna say disappointed me. The album
Really?
disappointed,
Mm.
Yeah. Just because it was
Like, what did young Tyler do to you?
no, it's because the fanfare was so hyped,
Yeah.
and so I wanted to see like her take it from Water to other levels, and I feel like Water was the best thing on the album.
I can agree.
And
She
so
didn't have a song better than Water.
Okay.
she didn't have a song
Yeah.
better than Water, so when I listened to the album, I was expecting that
I'm not-
1,
I'm
2,
not
3,
mad at
4,
that.
5.
ART.
Okay.
And I got that one.
That's a
maybe
good
two.
record, but it
Okay.
ain't better than Water.
Okay.
That was my jam.
Water was such a brilliant
Yeah,
record.
it was massive.
I'll scoot back by you now. I just couldn't a little taken aback. You know what I mean? I think she's a superstar. I saw her on the cover of Elle magazine this year. But
Yeah.
the music, I enjoy her album. It's one of my most played albums on my playlist.
She's definitely superstar.
And I like her. I think there's a lot of room to grow. There's a lot of Rihanna comparisons.
Yeah.
But I don't. But people say like it's a bad thing. I'm like, that's
That's
called
phenomenal thing.
success.
Yeah.
Okay, like
No.
that's a nice trajectory to follow, and you could tell that she has room to be pop and rock and dance and
yeah.
R&B and also international because she's
Yes.
not even from. She's from
South
South
Africa.
South Africa.
Yeah.
And she don't give a damn. She's
Yeah.
unapologetic
That's
about
right.
it too. So
She
I
got
think
the whole thing. She got the looks. She got the swag.
she's got to
the
figure it out.
confidence.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, and she has a beautiful voice.
agreed.
Mm-hmm.
I liked. This is not an album, but I liked "Nasty" by Tinashe.
Yeah.
Big record.
I like.
Did
this
you see that
song.
live performance though?
Which one?
She did. What late night? She was on some late night that she did.
One of the late night shows.
Was
Yeah,
it
I
nasty?
thought I showed it to you.
We probably saw it. You know, I'm so numb
See,
to
the
that
thing
because
is-
most live performances are
See,
terrible.
when I see the live performance, and it just takes away from the record. If the live performance ain't great, it just takes away. From
That's
it.
like 95% of everything I see now, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And that's why it's hard to like fully commit. Is
Yeah.
that I'll hear something and it'll catch my attention,
Yeah.
and then I see it live. Like Tommy Richmond, is that his name? Tommy Richmond.
Yeah.
Yeah, $1 Million Baby.
Oh,
Yo, that live, holy tragedy.
Are you hating because he's from Virginia? Is that the?
Is he from Virginia
Is
as
he
well?
from Virginia? Yeah.
I'm sorry.
wow.
Yeah. Just.
It's a great song.
I think that's a testament to like the Victoria Monet comment you made earlier. Like she actually puts the work in for real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can see it. You
Yeah.
can hear it. The,
Feel
the
it.
marketing.
Mhm.
I mean, everything about her shows it shows I'm ready and
Yeah.
I'm prepared.
Yeah.
So a lot of these artists have these breakout records,
Mhm.
and some of it's not their fault. They're just not ready.
They're not
Right.
ready.
I was gonna ask, do you feel like it goes in the stratosphere off of TikTok or whatever?
Right.
And it's just like they didn't expect it to jump. Go
Listen,
as far as it
I've
did.
interviewed guys or had conversations with guys on my show that before they never did a show before. They had
Yeah.
records that sold a million, all these streams and whatnot, and they have never performed or they just start performing. So, yeah, it's a whole new
Yikes.
time.
So there's still hope for me. That's what it tells me. You know what I mean?
And
Yeah.
Victoria has been at it for
For a long time.
Yeah,
even
yeah,
since
that's
her
right.
Grand
Yeah,
Hustle
yeah.
days. Like she's been practicing for the moment that she's having right now
That's
for
right.
years. So yeah,
Shout out to Sean Bankhead too,
yes,
her creative director.
He's killing it.
Oh, he's the choreographer?
Yeah.
Creative director.
Creative
Okay,
director.
gotcha. Creative. That guy's crazy.
He's now
Super dope.
what they do together, him and Victoria, is like
Magic.
it's magic, truly
Yeah.
magic.
We sound crazy.
My whiskey up high, oh, that only God only knows why, though. In the Arizona
Queen B,
heat.
Beyonce knows Carter,
Come on.
Cowboy Carter,
The
Cowboy
Queen.
Carter.
Yeah.
the Queen Bee. She made her announcement on the heels of Usher's Super Bowl
Yes.
performance this year. Big, I mean, Texas Hold'em, 16 carriages.
Mhm.
I enjoyed Cowboy Carter
I did
personally.
too.
Mm-hmm.
I really did.
It
I
was
mean,
in
this
rotation for me for at least 2 months after it dropped.
Really?
wow.
yeah.
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 Not even close to how I played Renaissance. I loved Renaissance, but what I love about this was the cultural and purposeful intention behind how she
Yeah.
dropped it, what she was saying, who she included.
Mhm.
Like it was
Yeah.
a dissertation. Like
Yeah.
it was well thought out. She had reasons for the people. Like it felt like she was presenting a college course. And that goes beyond like, do I like this song? Is this a good single? Like that's to me, she's so far beyond that now.
Yeah.
Like, is my first single cool?
Right.
She's proven that so many times.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
So I have so much respect for people that you can see the intellect behind the release.
Yeah, I appreciated that album. I can't say I went into a deep dive on the
Yeah.
album. But to your point, I like the fact that she included a lot of people that we hadn't,
Right.
introduced us to a lot of artists
Right.
that we had never heard of.
Shabuzi.
Oh,
I didn't know who
Shabuzi.
Shabuzi was
Oh,
until
yeah.
Cowboy Carter. And in my opinion, I don't think we get the success of Shabuzi without
I agree.
that record coming out
I
at the
agree.
top of the year.
Longest running #1 on Hot
all time.
100,
Yeah.
That's right.
which is incredible. He's from VA as well.
That's
he?
crazy.
From VA
Yeah.
as well.
You're really enjoying this, aren't you?
That's just this is our year. I mean, it's just
No, that's right. Man, I'm
VA
not
did
mad-
it
I'm
again.
not
I
mad
don't
at it.
know.
I'm
It's
not
just-
mad at it.
You're loving
pretty-
this right
pretty
now, aren't you?
insane. Like I just saying. But B, I agree with you, Timon. I mean, I just loved how she used her platform to elevate and be a springboard for the Shabuzis, for the Willie Jones, for the Brittany Spencer, and what's the other sister, Tanner, and like,
Tanner's
just-
crazy.
Yeah, like it just to me that's what you should do
Yeah.
at that level. And the
Yeah.
fact that she was just like, you know what, and then but paying homage to the Linda Martells and the Dolly Partons and
Absolutely.
Willie Nelsons and just the people who come before her in the genre. It's just interesting to me how people really just
It's
don't
such
give
a
it
shame
the-
she got snubbed with the CMAs though.
Are we surprised though?
No.
No, it's just a shame still.
Mm,
It's a shame.
not surprising.
No, not at all. But to say she dominated radio on that side, she dominated. I mean, I think obviously Shabuzi, he killed the game. She's nominated for a Grammy and didn't get any CMA nomination. I just think it's absolutely ridiculous.
He walked away empty-handed too.
Shabuzi?
Shabuzi, he was nominated but didn't get anything. But
At least he
I
got
mean,
a
it's not
nomination.
shocking.
You know.
But the thing that I love about Beyonce, especially with this project in Renaissance, is that like I'm okay with there being no visuals because it allows the listener to it allows the imagination to run free.
Yeah.
And I just feel like a lot of times we tend to not pay attention to the music if it doesn't have a visual to it. And I think sometimes we just need to really immerse ourselves in the music and
I agree with
and
that.
the hard work that they've had to do in the studio just so that they can give us this body of work. And so, yeah, I love the fact that Beyonce was like, y'all not getting no visuals.
The visual is going to be, I guess, Netflix on Christmas Day.
Right.
You know, that the halftime
The
performance.
halftime performance, which
So-
is I think is pretty epic because it almost sets up a whole new Super Bowl-esque event.
Yeah.
On a huge holiday.
Yeah. Well, her Christmas Day halftime show is going to be better than the game because the Cowboys suck.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
He's like, I co-signed that statement. But it's going to be, to me, her best performance of all time was that Coachella with the marching band.
Yeah.
Like that's still like untouchable. So Lord only knows what she's going to do.
I can't
on
wait to
Christmas
see
Day.
it. She's just the amount of time you think about longevity with Beyonce, because this year, 2024, marked the 20th anniversary for Destiny's Fulfilled,
Which is their last album.
It's their last album of Destiny's
Yeah.
Child. So
Wow.
to know that
Crazy.
20 years later,
Hello?
she's still at the center of culture and
To
conversation.
me, it's their best album.
That's amazing.
Huh?
To me, it's their best album.
Best Destiny's Child
The
album?
best Destiny's Child album.
Better than Writings on the Wall?
Right.
Yeah, I'm with Timon. That's my
Yeah.
favorite. I listen to that one the most.
Writings on the Wall, for the most part, it's aged well. There are some songs I'm just like, ugh, it sounds very 1999.
Nasty put some clothes on.
That's Survivor. That's
Oh,
the album I
Survivor.
don't
Sorry,
listen to
wrong
at all.
album.
But
Sorry.
Destiny Fulfilled, like you can still play that one, and it
Top
feels
to bottom.
fresh
Yeah.
to this day.
No skips?
No skips.
No skips.
Yeah.
I haven't heard it in a while. I got to go back.
He's like,
said, I think it might
I'll
be a
report
skip.
back.
Even the bonus tracks are dope.
I'm trying to remember
you
if
kick
it's
it
a
off with
skip.
Lose My Breath. You know, come on, man.
I mean, it's a great. I was definitely a great
I
album.
don't
Cater to
remember.
You?
I got to listen to it again too. I just don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember if it was a
Cater
no
to
skip or
You?
not.
Come
Cater to
on.
You
No,
was
Cater to You
nuts.
is nuts.
Soldier.
Cater to You is
Yeah.
crazy.
Soldier's nuts. Yeah, no, it's a
Yeah.
crazy album. I'll give you
If.
that.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
Is
some
she the
joint.
reason?
Is she
Through with
the reason you
love,
don't like
bad
you
habit.
Yeah.
The whole
like
album.
we used
Whole
to?
album.
Yes.
All right.
But
All
salute,
right.
salute to the Queen Bee. Another epic year. Looking forward to seeing you at the Grammys.
Yeah.
For
Bring
sure.
them home. By the way, the most nominated artist in Grammy history is Beyonce.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying.
Which is a bit
She's
ridiculous.
breaking every single
Yeah.
thing.
It's a bit
You
ridiculous.
think that's ridiculous?
Now, I'm not saying that she shouldn't have all the nominations she got, but we have to keep in mind artists like Michael Jackson,
Yes.
Prince, Stevie Wonder. They were
Stevie.
getting Whitney Houston. They were snubbed.
Yeah.
Mariah.
Luther Vandross. Yeah, they were snubbed back in the 80s and 90s. So I take those statistics with a grain of salt.
Were they snubbed or was the competition more stiff?
They were snubbed.
Because
Competition was
when
tough.
you look back, it'll be like Michael Jackson bad album versus this Prince album versus this Janet Jackson album versus Steve.
Whitney
Like
Houston's
it was
second album.
so hard.
These guys have single-digit Grammys.
You know, I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, it was definitely tough. The competition was very stiff, but there's no reason why Michael Jackson shouldn't have 25 Grammys.
I agree with you.
Do you think
Yeah.
do you think they were snubbed, or do you think nowadays the infrastructure is slightly different to where someone like a Beyonce can be nominated?
I think they were snubbed because the people who were voting, we know the process.
Right.
So in terms of who was voting, who was a part of the Grammy board,
Mm.
we didn't, or at least, most people didn't even understand how that worked back then. So now we have more voices. So now you see
Yeah.
more people being acknowledged.
And what people don't understand about the Grammys is that there's this constant debate every year about what the category should be,
Mhm.
right? So there are so many R&B categories that don't exist anymore
Right.
because it changes so much. Like I've been nominated so many times. They just started a songwriter Grammy nomination like 3 years ago.
Mhm.
So there's many songwriters that have never won a Grammy.
Never even got acknowledged.
I'm
Exactly.
talking about Smokey Robinson.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying? They never got a songwriting Grammy.
That's ridiculous.
You know what I'm saying?
That's why I say that.
Yeah.
I get that.
Mm-hmm.
Calm down, Beehive. Calm down.
Yeah. No disrespect to B, because she deserves everyone she got.
She deserves hers.
Yeah.
You're just saying that other people deserve some as well.
Yeah. Absolutely.
No, I get it. I'm just like the Hive. I like to calm them down.
Oh,
'cause, you
yeah.
know, they'll start
They'll
swirling.
sting.
Yeah.
On Can We Talk R&B page.
No.
We sound crazy.
Sing the song, Doc.
Come on.
I
thought we were gonna jump in with the harmonies.
Hold it down. That's good because male R&B also. I would say male R&B had a moment this year as well.
There's a resurgence happening.
Yeah.
There's a resurgence happening. Again,
Lucky.
big shout out to Lucky Day. Big shout out to Leon Thomas.
Yes.
Crazy album.
Mario dropped.
Bryson
Mario
Tiller had a
dropped
good
it soon,
album.
right?
Yeah, he
October
dropped-
London.
October.
Yeah. We got let's see what 2025 does.
Yeah.
For the guys.
Yeah.
We'll see. And then of course you talk Usher.
I like that Mario single Space.
Space is dope.
That's a crazy
Yeah.
song.
Yeah.
I don't think I've heard Space.
It's, in my opinion, I don't know this for a fact, but it feels like it's inspired by the production style of what Lucky and Mile are doing.
Yeah, it does feel.
Yeah,
in
it
that
feels
vein.
like that to me.
D-Mile do that one?
I don't know for sure. Oh no, I don't. Oh, you mean Mario? No, I don't believe so.
Okay.
Yeah, I looked it up. I can't remember the producer's name, but he didn't do it.
Mario.
Yeah, I think his album is out. So glad
Mario?
we met. Yeah,
I think they said first week of December.
yeah, it
Oh,
drops.
Okay, I have to check it out. I haven't
On
listened to it
Epic,
yet, but he's
so.
one of my favorite. He's now Vocalists.
Mario.
Mario's up there. He's one of my favorite vocalists of the new era.
Okay.
Let me ask y'all this, and I guess this is something that I'm always just trying to make sense of. Why is it that a lot of times some of the best vocalists don't necessarily connect with our community or with an audience, and the music isn't as good as someone like you wouldn't think of as a great singer like a Rihanna. Like Rihanna
Catalog
makes
is crazy, right?
amazing records, but she's not considered the best singer. But you have someone like maybe a Kiki Wyatt or someone like a Mario or people who you consider great vocalists, and for whatever reason, it's like hit or miss with the actual music. Why do you think that is?
That's a tough question. I don't really know the answer.
As songwriters, producers, execs, singer, like
I think some of that has to do with, some people or some singers can oversing a song and don't know how to specifically connect the song to the public. But a lot of that's production. A lot of that's so many different things that come into play with that. So I don't really have a clear answer for that because Whitney Houston was able to do it. Luther Vandross was able to do it.
They're the rare exceptions, though.
That's true.
and that was a different time. I was just, for whatever reason, and I could be wrong, but I feel like I often ask myself, do people want to hear people that can sing? Because I'm on social media and I'm like, that's too many runs, and they singing too loud.
I want to hear Jasmine Sullivan do it. I want to hear it.
I think they want to hear it. I think they don't care about it as much as musician-y people care about
Now
it.
that's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? They care more about what it feels like to them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
A great singer, a singer that can do all that stuff, has it a little bit harder because if you can sound good on everything, then it's hard to find out who you are. That's the first thing. So if everything sounds sweet, then it's hard to decide, like, no, this simple one is better than this complicated one.
Yeah.
Or this melody is better for the time than this thing that I'm enjoying singing more.
Yeah.
And so simpler singers, I'll call them like less is more singers, have limitations. And so normally when it fits, it really fits. And you just know.
Yeah.
I want to talk about culture's biggest night, also known as the BET Awards.
Yes.
Okay.
I think the BET Awards was pretty good. Obviously, big shout out to Usher, the tribute to him. I was not 100% pleased with the performance. I guess the choices that they chose
For Usher's tribute?
For Usher's tribute, because I would have liked to see someone like them pick someone like Chris Brown, maybe a Mario, Lucky Day, to be a part of that tribute in some way. It was like pretty much besides Childish Gambino, who did a great job. It was an all-female lineup, and they all are great, fantastic artists in their own right. But there were some questionable choices in my view.
Who is the weakest link in the tribute?
In the tribute, I'm gonna say it's gonna be a tight pick a tie. I'm sorry, between Keke Palmer rather, and Marsha Ambrosius. I think they had the two weakest performances. But
What?
I love Marsha. I didn't understand that at all. Like when you getting ready to tribute
Superstar.
Usher, how did Marsha Ambrosius come to mind?
Right.
Where's
right.
Neo?
You know
Where's
what I'm saying?
Neo?
Where's Chris Brown? Where's Mario?
Exactly. And then for Superstar.
Omarion. Where's all the
I mean,
Marion?
where's Eric Bellinger?
Not Omarion.
Where's Mario Omarion?
I think those are probably in a lot of people's mind like the usual suspects. Like, okay.
Not to me.
But I think I understand that they were trying to do something slightly different. Like,
but come on.
let's call females and have them do Usher records.
But
Instead of
It could have been mixed. It could have been couple females, couple males. I'm just saying. I mean, I think Childish Gambino, he opened it up. I thought I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, okay. Keke came out. I just and Keke is a talented singer. She's a talented artist, but I just wasn't feeling it.
Also, Usher's so big that I feel like there could have been, no disrespect, but bigger star power.
Exactly.
For Usher. Like, he's also done a lot of records with big people. Now, I'm not saying I want to hear these songs specifically, but he has a massive duet with Alicia Keys.
Absolutely.
He's done songs with Beyonce. He's done like lots of people that are of his caliber, and Jermaine Dupri, like people that all are just attached, that are mega stars.
It would have been dope to see Justin Timberlake come out.
It would have been just to see lots of people. That's what I'm saying, that are of that caliber come out and be like, yo, you're the man, because you're the man. And
absolutely.
It would have been, even if it wasn't like I'm literally singing his song.
I just feel he deserved better.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I was just happy to see, outside of me not really feeling the Coming Home project, I was happy to see Usher get his flowers between the Super Bowl and that going really well, with the exception of a couple moments. And then the BET tribute and just the Vegas in the last couple years, like, as someone that I've grown up looking at, like, since the very first song I heard from Usher, it's nice to see someone that's literally getting their flowers while they're still here.
Yeah.
And he's still healthy. He's still relevant. A lot of times
he's still swaggy. He's still putting it on.
Like, we wait too late a lot of times to give people the recognition that they deserve. And so, for this to be the 30th anniversary since his debut album, I mean, it was just dope to see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's an icon. I mean, again, him not being, to Claude's points, he should have had bigger artists, in my view, tribute him. And even if you were going to have the same level of artists, it just should have been a little bit more dynamic. I think the best part of the performance, honestly, was the Victoria Monet and Tiana Taylor.
That was my favorite part.
That was the best part of the whole performance. And Chloe, in my view, Chloe Bailey did a great job too.
What did she? I don't remember what she did.
She did Good Kisser.
Yeah. That's right up her alley too.
It's just, it's more the song choice.
Gotcha.
Than anything.
But she did a great. Her performance was great. And then she's honestly of this era, she's one of the elite young singers.
Chloe.
Yeah.
I think Chloe is always solid. Like, to Phil's point, even about Victoria Monet earlier, like, certain people like they've rehearsed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they came ready to perform.
Yeah.
And at this point, it can be so terrible that you have to give brownie points when someone looks like they actually rehearsed and knew their marks and knew their cues and know what key they're in. And
I just wish I liked her music.
Chloe Bailey?
Yeah, I just wish I liked her music.
She had an album drop this year.
Yeah.
I think it was a good album. I think it was overlooked.
Is she from Virginia, Phil?
No, she's not.
I
think she's from Atlanta. So she,
we
you
love
know,
Chloe.
she from
I think
GA,
she's dope.
but-
I think she gets overlooked for whatever reason, but I think she's a high-level dancer, singer. I mean,
there's like a good 10 to 20 artists that, in my opinion, suffer from the fact that you don't have the proper A&Ring / producer camp style thing. And it's a different world we live in right now. Everyone's self-produced. Everyone's doing things. Everyone can record themselves.
right.
But the reason we love a Brandy, for example, is because it was just camp to camp to camp of people that were also really good at what they did and had really good taste.
Yeah.
Man.
And there's some really talented artists out there, of which I think Chloe's one of them. I would love to see her locked in with
Like
someone
one
that could
producer crew.
elevate the whole situation, because everything's there.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So BET Awards, did we feel like, I mean, because I enjoyed myself personally. Like, I seeing Sexy Red, Meg Thee Stallion, Victoria Monet. I mean, to me, I think back, I was sitting in the audience, me and Tamar Braxton rolled together, but we were sitting behind Carisha, aka Young Miami, and Saucy Santana. And Carlos Miller, who was on the comedian from 85 South, he was sitting to our left, and Nick Young was sitting behind us. So we and Money Long was across the aisle. So when I tell you we had the best time,
Turn up.
it was turn up. So I enjoyed the show. Carisha, if you're watching, I enjoyed our first date because literally.
Wait, what?
So this is the thing I never talked about in the show.
Oh, wow.
It's having BET Awards. This is our first date. Now I can say it. Diddy locked up. You know, it's like, so
I heard cars blow up.
so
That's what I
Carisha
heard.
was saying how she was, she wanted something to eat.
Yeah.
So me and Tamar went to the concession stand. We getting little hot dogs, and you're not supposed to have food inside the auditorium, like inside the venue. So of course I had on like a blazer. So I threw the hot dog and the nachos inside of my bag, and so fast forward, walk back in there. I was like, "Yo, I got you something to eat." She was like, "Word?" It's like a hot dog. She said, "You got mustard?" Maybe I got mustard. So I jokingly said that was my first date with Carisha.
That's a
at the
date.
BET Awards. Like
That's
we're
a
sitting
date.
right by each other. I'm buying you hot dogs and chips, and you know what I'm saying? Like,
Wow, Phil.
yeah.
I ship it.
I ship it.
Yeah. So that was another highlight for me. BET Awards.
Phil and Carisha.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. You like it, right?
I ain't mad at it.
I'm not mad.
Yeah. it
Phil
felt
and
good. But the
Carisha.
show itself,
PNC.
I actually had a good time. I worked with Will Smith on his performance. That was
Yeah,
this
that was
year.
dope.
Oh, that was
So
dope.
we had that was just this year to me. Jesse Collins, Connie. I just want the show. One, salute them. I love them. Those are my peoples. But I want the show to be more reflective of all the genres
Yeah.
that
Yes, please.
we're involved in this R&B. Like
Please.
I want to see more country. I want to see more of the legacy acts. I want to
Yes.
see more. I just want to be more well-rounded. So
Absolutely.
there's a clear distinction between the Hip Hop Awards and the BET
Yes,
Awards.
please.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's. Again, I love them. I salute them. Like next year, I would love to see more diversity.
Yeah.
I want to
agree.
see a more well-rounded show. I would love to see more country,
Yes.
more legacy acts.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Just well-rounded situation because we are as Black people, we're not just R&B or just hip hop.
I agree.
So I love to see just a little more, even jazz. Can I see a Robert Glasper, Terrace Martin?
Samara Joy.
Absolutely.
Samara
Samara
Joy,
Joy,
yeah.
for
You know what
sure.
I'm saying? Like, there's a lot. I agree. It's underwhelming because of the lack of diversity.
It really
Big
could.
time.
It really could be the Black Grammys, like
That's exactly
It
what it
should
should
be.
be.
Yeah.
multiple genres.
That's exactly what it
celebrating
should be.
Black folk.
But think about it. That's what it was at one point. You had
It
Prince
was.
on the stage. You had
Right.
James Brown opening.
Right.
It was just such a level of excellence. But I wonder if you all had to say next year for BET Awards for the Lifetime Achievement, who should be honored? Who would you say?
Mm.
Ooh.
Wow. And who hasn't been already?
Okay.
We've been losing so many greats. So it's
Yeah.
like, man, Lifetime Achievement. I'm not sure who. That's a great question.
Somebody that would garner viewership, not just some. There are a lot of people that I go through, but I think some of our folks from like the '90s, like Usher, was honored this year. I feel like the TLCs get overlooked. I feel like
I agree with that.
Maybe Brandy.
Brandy.
I'm bored. I'm just bored, but I feel the '90s get a lot of love, like just in general.
Yeah.
It's like we're living in a '90s kind of world. I'm like, am I living single? And I'm not saying they don't deserve, but I'm just saying, like, I feel like the focus is we're sampling '90s. The '90s artists are going on tours.
But that's kind of the time. Like back then,
Right.
the '90s, 2000s, we were doing that for the '70s
70s,
artists.
right.
Yeah,
I think that's
So
yeah.
that's just kind of what it is. When you listen to a lot of the artists, they're sampling '90s because that's what they grew up on.
Yeah.
I would like to see some genre diversification. Like, it sucks that the Country Music Awards were able to get to Tracy Chapman before the Black
Yeah.
before BET did.
Yeah.
I feel that way about them. I feel that way about some of the neo soul artists too.
Yeah.
I got two people that come to mind that haven't been honored yet. So Connie, Jess, if y'all are watching, these are the two names. Y'all give me my credit. Stevie Wonder.
He
hasn't been honored yet?
What?
Have y'all seen Stevie Wonder get honored at BET Awards? Lifetime Achievement?
He was the first person came to mind, but I'm like, maybe he had already been.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Well,
So that was one. And the other one is my friend and the largest selling female artist of all time, Mariah Carey.
Yeah.
What?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Neither one have been honored.
Yeah, that's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah,
Okay.
of course.
Stevie should be next, and then we do Mariah.
That's not even a question.
And then there's a group that I think should be in consideration for future years. Like, I love to see Jodeci get honored.
Oh,
And
100%.
for me as well.
100%. And Boyz II Men, for sure.
Has
I was a member of both of those groups.
Has New Edition
What'd you
been
say?
honored?
I was a
at
member of
BET?
both Jodeci and
New
Boyz II
Edition.
Men.
What you mean?
At home, I was
Oh,
a
I was
member
like, did I?
of Jodeci and Boyz II Men.
To me, they're both equally deserving of the honor. In
Yeah,
my
for
opinion.
sure, for sure.
Period.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm not pitching anything. I think
112.
Boyz II Men is slept on. Actually, I think
I
when you
think so,
go
too.
record for record, Boyz II Men got
they are the greatest.
way
no,
bigger
they're the
records.
They're the greatest group in terms of catalog. They're the
Yeah.
greatest
way bigger
Greatest
records.
of what?
in terms of records. How big the
They
records
got a
are.
lot of big records.
I'm not saying
bro.
Jodeci has records
Far
that no
bigger
one
than
can touch.
Jodeci.
Jodeci
But
is the
far bigger
culture.
than- yeah,
Our culture.
Yeah.
Jodeci is a culture.
Yeah.
Boys to Men can still probably go to Japan and do crazy numbers.
Not even probably. I'm sure they still are doing crazy things right
Like
now.
white-
There's
They
a
were just
a documentary's
appeared,
coming out. Boyz II
Yeah,
Men-
they got
Like
Yeah.
white parents were okay with Boys to Men being played in the, and not saying that that's a barometer, but they they were played in not just black household. I mean, it is
true.
what it is. But
Yeah.
They were just here in Nashville a few months ago. Did you go?
nah,
Oh.
I didn't know. I didn't know.
And that says it all, folks.
Wow. I'm sorry. No Boyz II Men slander will be tolerated at all.
No, I love Boyz II Men.
I love
Yeah,
Boyz
I
II
do.
Men.
Boyz II Men put out a Christmas album, Christmas Interpretation. It's like,
Yeah.
that's a classic album.
See, that's where it stems from with Phil, is that they did that song with Brian McKnight.
Yeah.
Let
You
It
hate Brian
Snow,
McKnight?
and he hates Brian McKnight.
You hate Brian McKnight?
And so he's holding Boyz II Men accountable because of Let Us Know.
He's an awful human being.
Let it go.
Man.
I think we've all discovered
What
that in the
Brian
last
McKnight did to
year or
you?
two.
It's a long story, but let's just say he was not courteous at the gas station that I went to when I went in LA. Like, he parked to block me from getting gas, and then was being just super like random and rude. I saw him at Essence one year. I was like, man, what an asshole! Like, he's yeah.
So can we separate the personal from the gift?
Right.
We have to do that.
Do I ever
no,
cross
we
your
do. But
mind
for Brian,
anytime?
it's just a little bit. I can't.
Brian McKnight's one of the greatest vocalists of all time.
That's a bold statement.
He's
Wow.
one of the greatest vocalists of all time.
Wow.
Of all time?
Well, you know, when I say all time, I'm not talking about since the 1800s. I'm saying since the music that we know.
Because
in modern history.
all time is kind of all time.
Well, yeah, okay. You know what? Peter, you know, the disciple.
He-
Vocals crazy.
Vocal Bible.
Vocals crazy.
the literal vocal New Testament.
Crazy. Hey, and you should have heard Judas. When I tell you.
Oh my God! All right. So you think? I just want to be very clear here.
Brian McKnight is one
You're
of the
saying that
greatest.
if all the black men
I don't think you can name
that
5
ever
male
crooned.
vocalists. I don't think you can name 5 male vocalists in modern history better
Absolutely.
than Brian McKnight vocalists.
Are you kidding
What?
me?
Let's hear it.
Joe.
Joe is not better. They're the same. They're equal. Joe's my favorite.
Joe.
They're equal.
Joe got that
You
grit.
want to
that
keep
church.
going?
Joe is my favorite male vocalist. They're equal to me in terms of skill.
Who else is as good as skill wise? Just
I
period.
said, we said 5 better.
Better. All right. Feel free to chime in here.
Yeah, let's hit it.
Joe,
Yeah,
Usher.
Y'all had a hard time.
No.
Joe,
I get-
Usher, Mario.
Stop it.
You saying?
Better?
Yeah.
Stop it.
We talking about whose catalog is better. Totally
No,
different.
we talking about
I'm
vocals.
talking about vocalists.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I got Joe over Brian.
I mean, I'm not mad at that.
Yeah.
He would be my number 1 choice.
So give me your top 5. If Brian is in your top 5, what's your top 5? Male
Brian
vocals?
McKnight, Joe, not in a specific order.
Mhm.
Stevie Wonder, Marvin Gaye's gonna be in there for me, and Donny Hathaway.
I cannot believe that Brian McKnight made the list for the other 4 people you just mentioned.
Yeah.
What?
You know what I'm saying?
I'm
You-
so.
Did you remember One Last Cry?
I do,
We
and it
listened
still
to
doesn't
that
make
a
that
couple
list.
days ago, yeah.
Bro, he's killing on that song.
I'm not saying he, but you said Stevie Wonder, Donny Hathaway. Who else did you say?
Marvin Gaye,
Marvin
and
Gaye
Joe.
and Joe. And Brian McKnight.
This is the first time in my life I've ever heard anyone argue that Brian McKnight is not in the top tier of male
Wow.
vocalists.
Well, there's a first for everything. He ain't definitely in the top.
Not in
of
my-
that.
Man, we
Not
sound
my-
crazy.
You know what I mean?
Not in my top 5.
Who's your top 5, Phil?
No order. Luther Vandross,
Mm-hmm.
Donny Hathaway,
Mm-hmm.
Joe,
Mm-hmm.
Stevie, Chris Brown.
Boy, stop.
Hey,
no disrespect to CB.
Let me just add, because
you know what? I didn't say Luther. Luther is in
I
my
agree.
top.
I agree about Stevie for sure. I think R. Kelly is a better singer than Brian McKnight for sure.
And on that note, guys, thank you guys.
What?
R. Kelly's crazy, but come on, he is not.
You don't think he's a better vocalist than
That is
Brian McKnight?
crazy
No.
to me.
No,
He's more versatile.
better vocalist.
Yes.
I don't agree with that. I think he may be a better artist. Yeah, better vocalist. Come on.
Why you CB can't be in my top 5?
I'm not. Look, I'm a big CB fan, but
VA can't represent.
I'm a big CB fan. But CB, I don't think is the best vocalist of his era. I think Mario is superior to him vocally, personally. I mean, but CB is a better artist. I mean, I think he's the greatest artist of his era. But again, we're pulling teeth because all these boys can sing.
This is
All these
interesting.
boys can sing.
It's very interesting. Brian McKnight getting too much love over here.
We're not used to this.
We're not used to this at all.
Brian McKnight, this nigga's.
We would have been moved
This
on.
started with the Boyz II Men slander. This is where it started.
Here's the thing. I like Boyz II Men. I just think their records, for me, I don't listen to their music as frequently today.
Yeah.
Their music didn't age as well as Jodeci's did.
Yes.
That's a fact.
Yeah, I enjoy, was it Doing Just Fine? I still listen to that. And
Not doing just fine. He's like, I enjoy 4 Seasons of Loneliness.
Doing Just Fine is one of my favorites. And then End of the Road, when that comes on, I won't turn, like the station or the skip. But I like, Boyz II Men had a few little yangs, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, I do agree. Jodeci's catalog definitely aged way better. And it's still, if we're going to set it off a party, we're going to play Jodeci.
We sound crazy.
This world will
It
melt
go in, out, door, slow. Maybe you was lost, strike, goes, and I'm with you.
2024 was a great year for me personally. Like, I had the distinct pleasure to executive produce the Luther Vandross Never Too Much documentary.
Congratulations on
which
that.
I hope y'all all have seen.
Absolutely.
It's in theaters right now. It'll be on CNN and OWN on New Year's Day. So if you're home and just relaxing, watch it or stream it on Max shortly thereafter. But that was a dream come true for me. Yeah. To really be a part of the production team for my vocal idol.
Yeah.
He's
but
one of the greatest vocalists, most talented songwriters, producers, and my hope was that people get to see all that went into this great artist, Luther's just the GOAT to me, man. He's just one of the best. But that was one of my highlights this year, personally and professionally, being a part of that. And shout out to my partners, Jamie Foxx and Datari and Colin Firth and everybody at Sony for allowing me to be on that journey. But it was, to me, that was,
congratulations on that. That was amazing.
I particularly love the fact that, we've heard these Luther songs for years and years, right? But the fact that you all were able to find that you all properly placed songs to help tell the story of Luther.
Yeah.
Like at the end, when Any Love plays, it's just like you've heard that song a gazillion times, but it's just like, wow, like you I literally got emotional at the end when I saw that part, because it's just like, wow, that's all he wanted. Yeah. And I think for a long time, we never really got a chance to really look into the story of Luther Vandross. I mean, we've seen small little documentaries here and there, but to really get that holistic view of who he was, aside from the music, it made his catalog make so much sense after seeing that. So kudos.
Yeah. I'm just grateful. And Dawn Porter, our amazing director, filmmaker, she was just a dream. And I got a random call last week from Fat Joe, who watched the doc, and he called me, and shout out to Fat Joe and the team. It was like literally random one night. I saw this number, and I'm like, who? It was Fat Joe. He was like, man, I'm from the Bronx too, and Luther's one of my favorite singers. But to get those kind of calls out the blue, because I don't know Fat Joe like that.
I was going to ask you what the reaction has been.
It was just, but it's been, that to me has been the most exciting. Even here in Nashville, I went to Belcourt to see it in the actual theater with the audience and people that are not in the industry or not jaded, and just to hear the natural reaction and them talking back to the screen, and it's like, to me it was very exciting. So I look forward to doing more documentaries in 25 and beyond. So, but that was a dream come true.
Is there an artist that you can speak on that you feel like you might want to do next, like another documentary?
Brian McKnight.
Definitely Brian McKnight. The story of Brian. Yeah, that's what I'm. Can't
Back
wait.
at One. Produced by Phil Thornton.
I'll give you two that have been on my heart heavy. I want to tell the story of LaFace Records.
Please tell the LaFace story.
I'm tuned into that.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
So Kenny, LA,
Please.
because y'all watch and listen to the show. So
Yeah.
just putting it out there. So I would say LaFace, and then the other person who, and she's still with us, and prayers up. We'll see how this shakes up. But I'd love to do Shaka Khan.
Nice. Yeah, two really strong for sure.
Can I make a request? You're friends with her, but I really would love to see a Mariah Carey documentary.
Yeah.
Because I think there's two sides of Mariah. There's like the Christmas, pop star, flashy, and that's necessary. But there's like very similar to Luther. There's like the background singer story, the Long Island girl who became the star, the songwriter.
Where do we rank Mariah Carey in terms of like this as a vocalist? Like we have most people have Whitney Houston as the voice. Where do we rank Mariah?
Mariah's in my top 5. I'm not just saying that because we're friends, but she's in my top 5. When you think about just her contribution and just her pen and her arrangements, like, yeah, she's definitely in my top 5 for.
I mean, she's in mine as well. I'm just curious what you guys say.
Songwriter, top 5.
Yeah,
for sure. Like, I think that her and Stevie Wonder and Smokey Robinson are 3 of the most important Black songwriters in American, if not world history. Like what they've done for the soundtrack of the world is insane. Vocally, I haven't thought about my top 5, but she's close up there. Like, I mean, I have a bunch of things to suss out, but she's in the mix.
Yeah, she's one of the greatest.
She's probably like 6 or 7 for me.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
She's
But
top
that's not a
10
diss.
With his Whitney hoodie on. You see that over there? Can we get a
Absolutely.
close up on the Whitney hoodie?
But she's top 10, but not top 5 for me.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know where she falls in my top 10, but I don't think she's top 10, but she's up there.
Yeah, I got you.
If I had to go like pre-Rainbow Mariah, then yeah, she'd probably be top 5.
I mean, all that's included.
But
It's all included.
it starts to get a little murky for me after the 90s. So
Remember that
I mean-
face, and when you come on the show, remember that.
I'm
one.
sorry.
Look, so does Whitney's catalog.
Yeah.
So if you want to have that metric,
but yeah.
I'm always when I'm thinking prime that person.
Yeah.
Pre whatever lifestyle or whatever occurred.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That Whitney Houston live album, that South Africa album that's out right now, it just separates.
Amazing.
It separates the mice from the men. Like, you just realize how insane she was. She was
Yeah.
a beast live.
No question.
So she's number 1.
You know what? Speaking of that, so I've been getting, I guess, a lot of energy, and people are getting it twisted. And I know this is going to be a very interesting topic. So we talk about these great singers and all these great contributors. There's so many. So I want to make sure I say none of these people that we're mentioning, we're dissing. Well, at least I'm not dissing, saying that they're not they're whack.
Right.
But we have to rank them just like we rank anything else. So we talk about Prince. We talk about Michael Jackson. So I've had a conversation about vocalists, and I had this with Avery Wilson talking about is Prince a vocalist? I asked him that question. Now, I do believe Prince is a vocalist, but I don't hear people have Prince ranked as their top male singer ever. I never hear it.
Yeah.
So with that said, would you want to hear Prince, no instrument, sing the national anthem? Just Prince, standing flat foot, microphone, no music.
I would. I mean, I think he doesn't get the credit that he deserves vocally.
He's a fantastic vocalist, for
much
sure.
like James Brown don't get the credit
That's
that he
true.
deserves vocally because they're such big performers, and so you looking at the musicianship, you looking at what they're doing on the stage, and
Right.
so the singing don't don't blare out, but both James Brown and Prince are phenomenal vocalists.
No, for sure. But what I'm saying is, we love Marvin Gaye's performance. We love Whitney Houston's performance. We love Jasmine Sullivan's performance. Tori Kelly's performance. Like when we talk about, we just mentioned all of our top 5 male vocalists. No one mentioned Prince.
Okay, well, 5A or 5B. Prince is that. What do you want? No, Prince is one of my favorite artists, but I would absolutely vocally, I would watch him sing the national anthem. To me, I like Prince better than Michael.
Well, I've heard that. Yeah. I'm not mad at that either.
That's my preference. Like
yeah.
I enjoy Prince's all around presentation, songwriting, instrumentation. Like he's a great musician.
As an artist, he's either number 1 or 1A or 1B. Yeah, for sure.
And love Mike. You know what I mean? Again, you can't knock him, but
all the more reason why Brian McKnight does not belong in no one's top 5 vocalists of all time.
Brian McKnight is a better vocalist than Prince.
You sound crazy.
I know it. Listen, can we talk crazy? Brian McKnight is a better vocalist than Prince. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I don't think I would. I mean, I'm not looking for Prince to sing the national anthem. I'm just not. But that does not take away from the fact that I think he's a dope vocalist. Like, if you're only listening to his greatest hits collection, you may not find that. But if you're listening to the albums, then you can definitely find some moments. Like, I think him doing Betcha by Golly Wow.
So good.
So good. Adore. So good.
Yeah.
You know, there are records where he's really showcasing what he could do vocally. But when I think of National Anthem or Star Spangled Banner, I'm not thinking of Prince.
Prince is just, there's so many hidden gems. And this is, we were talking about Mariah. Mariah is one of the people who knows Prince's catalog front and back. And I was at her house a couple years ago in L.A., and she was just playing like some Prince. I'm like, what album is this on? She was like, oh, you don't know this? And I'm like, Mariah's a student still, but it's like, but Prince is just, it's so much music there.
Yeah,
so
she did
much.
an amazing cover of The Beautiful Ones on Butterfly.
Yes.
Yeah, with Roux.
Yes.
That's one of my favorite deep cuts of Mariah's. So.
Nice.
Yeah, but Prince is the GOAT.
He is.
Prince is the GOAT.
He's a goat. He's a goat. I think Stevie Wonder is Billy Goat Gruff.
True.
I mean,
Stevie Wonder is definitely Billy Goat.
Prince is definitely a goat
Gruff.
for sure. Yeah,
Stevie Wonder is the goatiest goat of
That's
the
right.
goat.
When you look under the bridge, is that big Billy Goat? That's Stevie.
That's Stevie. And
Yeah,
everyone
for
else
sure.
is underneath.
That's right.
100%.
Early this year, I was able to finally see Stevie Wonder live, and for him to be, in his 70s, still singing those songs, in the way that he sang them in the 70s, the 80s, like it was amazing. And then I didn't realize Stevie Wonder was as playful as he was. Like there were a lot of expletives that were dropped that night, and I enjoyed every last bit of it.
I just saw Stevie a few weeks ago at Mr. Child's. I was sitting at the 2 tables over from him. I was at dinner with Kirk Franklin and their friends, which is how I've always seen Stevie via FaceTime, because he FaceTimes Kirk. I don't understand it. I just think he's like, oh, this is Stevie FaceTiming.
Well, he wants him to see him. He wants Kirk, whoever, to see him.
Got it. Yeah,
It makes sense somehow.
Yeah, like, that actually does make sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was sitting at 2 tables over, and I was like, yo, this is Stevie literally sitting right there. And of course, Kirk, like, we're going over to the table. Like, but it's like, he is arguably, Stevie is the GOAT. So it's to me, it's the Stevie, it's the Prince, it's the Luther, Janet.
Oh.
You're intentionally doing that. So you just make sure that you don't put MJ up there?
I mean, I put the Jackson family in my top 5.
You have a thing against Michael Jackson?
I don't have a thing against Michael.
Did you get gas at the same gas station that they were getting gas?
Right.
I think, Mike is incredible.
Give me 93.
Mike is incredible. One of the greatest of all time. Some people's top of the list. It's just, for me, I put the Jacksons, because I love Janet. And I love the Jacksons and the Jackson 5. And to me, that was Mike. Young Mike was like, it won't nobody touching Young Mike. Like, but so to me, it's like, in my top 5, I put the Jacksons as a whole.
Okay.
I'm not mad at it.
Including Reby, Centipede.
Including Centipede.
Nah, I ain't putting the whole Jacksons in there.
You're not.
Wow.
LaToya going there.
LaToya going in there.
No.
3T, let's go.
No.
We all in there, baby. Like,
What you mean?
I put Jermaine up there before I put
Jermaine,
them.
that's what I'm saying. Like the Jacksons, when you think about their contribution to American music and global music, like what family surpasses that? Like when you think it just no one comes close. Michael and Janet, and then the Jacksons as a whole, Jackson Five.
No,
like,
no, for sure.
We lost Tito this year.
Okay, so speaking of the Jacksons, right? Which catalog would you all prefer? Mike's catalog or Janet's catalog?
For me,
Yeah.
Janet. It's not even close.
Chuck?
For me, it's Michael.
Okay.
Although Janet has some of my favorite songs, and some of her songs, she has some of my favorite songs ever.
For me, it's Mike. It's Mike.
Now, I need you before y'all. I mean, Janet. We love Mike. Off the Wall to Thriller, largest selling album, blah blah blah. Bad, I get it. Claude's first album over there that he bought with his own money. You know what I mean, we get all. But I need you to really understand Janet Demeter Joe Jackson and the catalog that comes with this amazing artist. From
Shout out to
Dream
Jimmy Jam,
Street
Terry
to
Lewis.
Janet to Control with Jam and Lewis to Rhythm Nation to the Janet album. Like she was doing shit that people weren't even.
Yeah.
And the songs, they were compositions. Like they were, and again, she had a run.
Yeah.
Because even after the Janet album, you had the Velvet Rope.
Yeah,
we still going.
All for you.
All for you.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, Janet is an all-time superhero GOAT. She's up there. Yeah. She is up there. I think MJ's catalog is just too strong. It's just too strong.
See, y'all getting caught up on that Thriller hype.
No.
Yeah.
Remember the Time is my favorite Michael Jackson song. So, I mean, like, we can, I mean, I'm not.
That was done in VA, by the way. Remember the Time. Teddy, it was done in VA.
I gotta go with I love Mike, but I gotta go with Janet. Just it's to me, there's more consistency there.
Yeah.
Like Mike, he kind of lost me with Blood on the Dance Floor, and then when he did like the history project.
Yeah, you talking about after this kid been hitting you in the head since like age 7.
If I'm comparing
like one of his last singles.
if I'm comparing even the albums for with Janet, like even the ones that necessarily didn't do so well, like Demeter Joe, Discipline, I can do without 20YO, but she still had bangers as far as albums are concerned after the heyday had passed, in my opinion. And so I gotta go with Janet. Love Mike though. Like Dangerous is still, them songs still slap.
That Invincible album still slaps.
Yeah,
with Michael
absolutely.
too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He got records, man.
Yeah.
MJ.
This is probably the hardest for me, but I'm gonna have to go Mike. But it's so close. I really, really, really love Janet Jackson.
It's closer than people think.
It's
but,
way closer than people think, but just by just a hair of nostalgia.
So Janet, so only 2 for Janet. The rest of y'all, Mike.
I'm gonna pick Mike's. We're just saying catalog. I'm gonna pick MJ's catalog.
I'm staying with Mike.
All right. Wow.
I'm staying with Mike.
Wow.
Staying with Mike.
I knew you was gonna pick Mike. My very first record I bought.
Nah, but my first concert was Janet Jackson.
Wow.
So it's not easy, man. Like I really do love them both. And think about how rare that is that a brother and sister are that
dope.
You can't pick between the two of them.
MJ was that dude.
MJ was that dude.
I think what Michael doesn't get credit for, I think Quincy get a lot of credit for it, but Michael don't, is that his demos, when he was writing the songs and producing them with his brothers, those demos was really close to what you heard on the record.
Yeah.
And so when you're talking about creativity and you're talking about artistry, you got to give it up for Mike in that regard.
Absolutely.
Agreed.
Now, what I will say is, I feel like we don't get Brandy Full Moon without Michael Jackson Invincible. And I always appreciate just how Michael pushed Rodney to do, like, Rodney was on the show and how he talked about how Mike would send him out in an open field with trash cans. Yeah, like go out here and find the sound. And so for him to kind of simultaneously work on Full Moon after that, it's just like, you know what? It makes so much sense. And I always appreciate that because Full Moon is one of my favorite albums of all time. So,
we salute Rodney Jerkins, and you brought up that episode, which actually generated an Emmy nomination for We Sound Crazy this year.
Nice.
Our very first one. We went to the Emmys. It was we
Congrats,
we didn't win the actual award, but we won by being
Racism.
acknowledged and just being recognized.
Yeah.
But yeah, Rodney, salute to Rodney, and Full Moon, such a great album. And for all the people who send me these nasty messages on social media, I really do love Brandy. Brandy, I know her. I actually know her. Her number's in my phone.
Well,
So
explain for Ian why you get all this hate. What is
the
I
origin? Said on the show, we talk about the vocal Bible so often.
Yeah.
And I don't like to give anyone that title.
Mm-hmm.
But if I were to give someone the title, it's not Brandy, respectfully.
Mm-hmm.
So I would give it to Whitney, a vocal Bible. And I've even said my vocal Bible. I saying the vocal Bible. I said my vocal Bible is Jasmine Sullivan. And the people just get so upset.
They get very upset.
Oh man, like who you don't even. I'm like, man, I know this girl. Like, will y'all stop? Like, and I hope to have Brandy on the show one day, and we can talk, because again, you can't giving someone the title of the vocal Bible. It's just a big, like, that's a big crown.
She was given that title before Jasmine came out, though.
Yeah.
That was like, you know what I'm saying? Like when Jasmine came out, like 09.
Like Stacey Barth coined that title. When Stacey Barth, when they were in the studio recording a song.
That's who started this?
Stacey Barth started that, and then it just kind of caught wildfire.
Stacey?
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't know that.
She had that title before. So with that, I respect that, because I've called her that myself. But that doesn't mean that Brandy's Brandy's is another little goat. You know, she's a young goat. But I do agree. I'm a bigger fan now of Jasmine's style, because I think Jasmine is a combination of, let's say, the Kim Burrells, the Lauryn Hills, and the Brandy. She's like all of that in one.
I can see that.
I think Eric Dawkins said it best. Brandy is somebody who's going to follow the script. She's going to give you what you know of her to do. She doesn't often deviate from.
She doesn't cut loose.
Yeah. Jasmine, on the other hand, she's going to take you to church every single time, even if she's talking about smashing some dude the other night. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I think
in church.
So I just think it really is about who you prefer. I will always prefer Brandy because her tone, even when she may not even have a run, like that tone is always gonna save the day for me. Like nobody, like
I think her melodies.
And I think the reason why people call her the vocal Bible is because everybody, if you turn on the radio now, you're gonna hear somebody that's sounding like Brandy. I mean, Heart of a Woman, Summer Walker puts you in the mind of something off of Never Say Never. Brandy's influence is still making an impact to this day. I mean, it's like 5 people on the charts right now that want to sound like her. In gospel music, for a hot little minute in gospel music, people were trying to sound like something from Full Moon and Never Say Never.
Sure.
For the record, again, I love Moesha. Nothing against Brandy.
You know,
it's all love. You know what I mean? Brand. I actually introduced Timon to Brandy.
Absolutely.
So I actually know her in real life. So back up. The Norwood family, they love me over here. Just, you know what I mean? But she's not my vocal Bible. But much love to Brandy. What's the middle name?
We forgive you.
Brandy Rihanna.
Norwood. Yeah. Let's go.
We sound crazy.
Don't listen to what people say. They don't know about you and me. Put it out your mind.
John B, they don't know. That's one of my favorite joints right there.
Man. That's one of the best songs. That's one of the best R&B songs of modern times.
I've listened to it a lot this year. Actually, I was inspired to go back into John B's catalog when I saw John B on your show.
Absolutely.
Can We Talk R&B? It was trending all over, talking about They Don't Know.
That was our first real viral episode. Like John was on there, and I'm just a big fan of John since the very beginning of his career. And the episode went viral. He was talking about, I guess we were talking about how many times his music has been sampled by so many different artists. And he wasn't a big fan of Chloe Bailey and Gunner's sample of his song. But overall, he gave a very energetic and exciting conversation to us. And it went crazy. But yeah, John B is that guy.
Yeah, Cool Relax is a classic album.
Cool Relax is a classic album.
Classic R&B album.
Is John B a legend?
I think so. I think John B is a legend. Now, again, there are levels to legend. I'm not putting him in the same legendary category as we're going to put Stevie Wonder or something like that. Stevie is an icon. But, I think there are a lot of artists who have done legendary things that we can say, oh, man, back at that time, man, that's legendary,
Legend?
Come on.
I don't think I'm alone in not considering John B a legend.
You're not alone.
Sorry.
You're not alone. It's a lot of people. I mean, it seems like a
Legend is a
50-50.
very, very, very big word to use.
I don't think legend, like, you're a basketball fan?
Yes.
Are you a Laker fan?
Enough.
Is Michael Cooper a legend?
No.
Look at his numbers during the
I know.
80s. Why isn't he a legend?
Because
He's a legendary Laker.
Okay.
Come on.
Okay.
Point taken. John B has contributed legendary music. This song specifically, they don't know. You can't name that many records that's better than that record. Like in terms of, in that during that time, like you can't name that many. That's 97.
Yeah,
You can't name that many. I'm not saying you can't find any because obviously R. Kelly,
I think it's a great
Joe-
song. Again, seeing your interview and your conversation with John, it really made me go back into his catalog, and I forgot he had joints.
He did.
Big time.
Hey, John B had records, man. Like,
Is Donnell Jones a legend?
No,
I think so.
not at all.
Bro, I remember sliding to them records.
It's Genuine.
I did
a
some
legend.
legendary things.
No.
during that time.
Genuine.
No. Y'all legend is Stevie Wonder. Legend is Mariah Carey. Legend. We are
Those
talking
are-
about.
is a
They-
legend. Pony
That's iconic.
is still played down here on Broadway at the little rodeo place.
Y'all are very generous.
they be handing out legends like flyers.
That's what
out
I'm
here.
I mean, I don't think the word legend. I don't think it's not like. Oh my
But to
God.
your point, I think we confuse legend with icon.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? When you think about
Yeah,
Stevie,
Prince,
and when you
icons.
think,
Stevie, these are icons. Michael Jackson, icon.
yeah.
But Genuine
know.
had a run though.
He had a nice
Genuine
run.
got joints.
He had somewhat of a legendary run.
Yeah.
He had somewhat of a legendary run.
But yeah, I was inspired. Like I said, a great interview. Also,
A great guy.
No, but I really enjoyed the conversation. But it literally had me go back into John B's discography, and I had a greater appreciation. I did, like, really. And when I saw Tracy Edmonds recently, who he was signed to,
Right.
Yab Yum,
Yab
I
Yum,
brought it
yeah.
up, and she was like, "Oh my God!" I was like, "Yeah," it just made me go back into that bag of like.
That's right.
listen
What I try to
great
tell
songs.
people also is like when you listen, at least from my perspective, from Can We Talk R&B, it's not just about how big the artist specifically became.
That's
It's
right.
really about their particular story and what they contributed to
Yeah.
R&B. And I remember, again, I didn't know John from Adam. In 1994-5, Bonafide album came out with
Right.
Pretty Girl. That was strong. 97, Cool Relax came out. I remember that being like a soundtrack to my senior year in high school and freshman year in college. Then Pleasures You Like. After that, like, I mean, he had a nice run of really good albums. So if you were
Yeah.
tapped in, then you
Yeah.
would have an understanding of it. If you weren't really tapped in, I understand people saying, "Oh, he didn't
Yeah.
make that kind of impact."
And
I
you
wasn't
can,
tapped in.
and you can put "Don't Talk" on at the family function, and
Right
all
now.
the aunties gonna get up.
Yeah.
So,
Aunties.
yeah.
I wasn't tapped in, I guess.
I mean, I get it. I get it.
But see, I like that. From now on, when I don't agree, I'm just gonna say I wasn't tapped
Still
in.
go.
That's what I say.
I wasn't tapped in.
Yeah,
I
wasn't
missed
tapped
that
into
moment,
Absolutely.
if you will.
Absolutely.
I wasn't tapped in.
It's like in the 80s, I was a kid. I wasn't tapped into everything. I mean, I go
Yeah.
back
Right.
and say, oh, man, I know the impact of that. I wasn't tapped into Guy, but I know the impact Guy had. You know what I'm saying?
come
I
on.
wasn't.
VA slander.
Well, no disrespect. I grew up in church. My parents wouldn't let me hear everything. Like I could, so I couldn't. I just wasn't exposed to it until I got to school or whatever.
Now,
But by
that's
the
where R.
time,
Kelly got his
by the
swag
time I
from.
got onto
Oh.
Guy, honestly, Jodeci was out. And I was like, I'd rather Jodeci.
I wonder why Aaron Hall don't get the props that he deserves as a vocalist.
He is.
From his solo stuff and from Guy stuff.
Yeah.
R.
I
Kelly,
agree, I
R.
agree.
Kelly took that thunder.
See, but
Yeah.
He came out with Public
I have a
Yeah.
I have a
Yeah, he
theory
did.
that singers that are part of groups, it's much harder for them to get their credit. When we saw Earth, Wind, and Fire here live, they made a whole moment about Philip Bailey being a great singer,
Yeah.
and we all know it.
Yeah.
But because he's Philip Bailey of Earth, Wind, and Fire, you don't put him in the same category as a solo artist that's doing
Yeah.
it. I mean, you think about groups. I mean, the ones we talked about: Casey, Wanye,
Cisco.
Yeah.
Cisco from Drew Hill.
Yeah.
Sean Stockman.
Yeah.
What's my boy from Chicago?
Dave
Before I
Hollister.
left, Dave
Oh,
Hollister.
Oh, Dave Hollister,
Yeah.
monster.
I mean, you're talking about people that really are like, can no one touch them?
yeah.
But a lot of times when they're in the group, I mean, even Babyface's brother from
Kevon
both
Edmonds
all
is
of his
crazy
brothers.
work.
I mean,
Kevon Edmonds.
after 7, they can really
yeah,
sing.
Yeah.
But you don't put them in that category. I think
That's
the
true.
group thing kind of makes you lose sight of how dope people are as
No,
vocalists.
that's true. For sure.
Speaking of viral, We Sound Crazy went viral early this year with our special guest Tweet came on the show.
Wow.
Yeah.
Remember?
One of my favorite episodes.
One of our favorites as well. I just saw it on Dish Nation, Breakfast Club, but just the revelation that what Tashana shared that she didn't know her mother was Tweet
Right.
until watching 106 in Park.
I don't have much memory of the Missy stuff because she didn't tell us. So I didn't know she went off and went on tour with Missy. I found out my mom was Tweet doing my algebra homework. And 106 in Park was like, new joiner today, Tweet, oops, oh my. And I was like, wow. Yeah. Excuse me?
Hold the fuck up.
Stop the damn presses.
Wow.
Breaking news.
Yeah.
You didn't know your mother was Tweet.
No.
She was at church and then doing algebra and then saw...
You're watching 106 in Park.
Yeah, that's how I found out.
All right, guys, we're going to end it right here. This has been a great conversation. Mashup. We Sound Crazy. Can We Talk R&B? But to hear the second part of this conversation, head over to Can We Talk R&B's YouTube channel on all platforms.
All platforms.
All platforms to hear this amazing conversation. Make sure you follow both platforms at the bottom of the screen. You see it right there. But to hear the second part, head over to Can We Talk R&B.
Girl, it's alright, baby.
Are you still there for me now?
'Cause it's there in your eyes, yeah.
We sound crazy.